this is Christine and welcome to my vlog channel, The Maple Diaries. And here with me now is, what's your name?
Amber.
Say hi everyone!
Hi.
So today guys, I'm very happy to share with you finally our Canadian Express entry journey. It took me a while to gather all this important information. I find it a bit complicated at first to share it with you because it has a lot of details on it. So as you all know, we've undergone through the Express entry process. It wasn't a smooth journey. We had encountered some hurdles, but we're happy to say that we were able to finally had it approved, and we landed here, and we've been here in Canada for I think for 1 year and 7 months now, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, initially our score was only 411. The main applicant was my husband. We were based in Dubai, and it took us a while to find the right immigration consultant because there's a lot of scammers, and we managed to find one, but they were based in Montreal, and it was more of phone online communication. So that was the risk that we took, but we're happy that somehow they managed to help us really process our application. So first and foremost is that we signed up our express entry and we signed up our contract with a consultant on July 14, 2016. And from there, it took us like 7 months because the initial agreement is first to let us gather first all the required documents, the basic ones, before we activate our express entry profile. By February 21st, 2017, that's the time we had our express entry profile activated on the system. And then February 27, we had received a notification of interest for the Ontario Provincial Nomination Program. So that was like very quick, and then we were managed to so by March 23rd, 2017, that's the time that we had filed our application for the OINP. That means because if you have a nomination, that means it's either you would accept or reject it or refuse, because when you say a provincial nomination program, that means it only gives you the freedom to just stay in one particular province once you arrive. So in our case, it was Ontario, and we have decided we want to stay in Ottawa. So for us, it was okay. But for other applicants, they would prefer to have the federal one wherein they could freely choose on which province they would prefer. But for us, because we don't have any relatives and we don't have any family here, so for us, I think Ontario was a very good option as well. By May 31st of this same year, we had finally we accepted the invitation to apply for the nomination for Ontario. And from there, by July 29, 2017, we had received a request for medical examination. So usually the trick is if you have received like a request for medical examination, that means that your application is really going forward, and somehow it gives you a positive hope. And though it doesn't really say that you have already been approved, because they have to check, you still have to undergo some background check, and if you pass the medical examination. So from there, from July 29, we had received the request for medical examination. Then we had it, and by August 19th, 2017, we had our PR application has been received by IRC, and that's where we received the notification that the start of background check would be happening already. So that was the longest wait ever, because you never know what's going on. So you have to make sure, and you have to be really honest with yourself, that you submitted everything should be based in facts. You shouldn't be fabricating anything, because if that happens, then they will find it out. So you have to be truthful. So it took I think a lot of waiting, and it was like when you hear like here's some friends that they had received their approval, so ours is we're still on pending. So it was really, it's just like it was really tough to be patient those days, but all went well. And so from August 19, 2017, that was where the background check started. But then again, by March 21st, 2018, so it took us August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Oh, it took us 7 months before we receive the golden letter, which is the request for request for submission of right of permanent residency. And that's the time they will be asking you for the payment. But that means that's the golden letter. It means you've been approved and everything went well. So so that's where we paid like $980. I think that was in Canadian dollars. And by March 23, just only 2 days after that, our application was approved. And we were like, that's the time, of course, initially the application was already approved, but then again the request for a passport, that's the one that you were waiting for. So that's when it happened. After 2 days, we have received that request for passport submission, and we were and then from that letter, when we have submitted our passport, it states there that by July 29, 2018, we should land in Canada. So July 26, that's the time we landed in Toronto airport, and that's where our journey started. It was really like a very long journey, but then again, it's a life learning process, and I'm so happy to share you all. So my daughter now is here. She's asking me to say bye-bye now. So can you tell them to like and subscribe the Maple Diaries? Can you tell them?
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Please like and
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.